There was a report on the 90minute.com website coming from a name Graeme Bailey, right? Some journalist that has claimed that Erling Haaland could move to Barcelona in the summer of 2025. There has been many talks about Real Madrid maybe signing Erling Haaland in about 2 years, but Barcelona could be in the picture and on this race according to this reporter here. Now, I want to get one thing very straight. Everything that we have been hearing about Haaland and Barcelona, just take it with a grain of salt. Don't really believe this 100%. If anything, like in my opinion, I don't necessarily believe that this is true. It's just too early. We don't know Barcelona's future plans. We also don't know what Erling Haaland wants to do with his future. Maybe Man City want to renew him for another 3 to 4 years. It's just too early. Whatever this reporter was thinking of, I just felt like he was doing this only because we are in the international break. They have to put out some news during this international break, and so I understand why he made up this, I would say, fake narrative. But here's going to be another reason why I wanted to bring this topic up. Even though I know that it is almost, I would say, impossible to see Barcelona sign Erling Haaland, yeah, and yes, even at the summer of 2025, I still think though that it would be a great idea if Barcelona do sign the player, and that's if they really wanted it to happen. Now look, Haaland has signed a 5-year deal with Man City, and there was this clause in his contract that did state that in the summer of 2024 he will be having a release clause of 172 million euros, right? 172 million for a player who scores about 45 to 55 goals per season in the league. We're talking about a Ballon d'Oro contender here. I do believe that this is a very cheap price for a player like him, but ever since Pep Guardiola renewed with Man City, they actually nullified this clause, and there is no longer a chance to activate that clause in 2024, which means that this release clause could be activated in the summer of 2025, which is the reason why we are hearing this report, Barcelona being in the race to sign Haaland for 175 million euros. Now again, I don't know where Barcelona is going to be financially, which is why I do say I just don't 100% believe this. But if Barcelona do everything correctly, financially, economically, whatever they do, right, whatever financial executions they want to do, and it makes Barcelona stronger business-wise, then yes, it could be a good idea to bring Haaland in that summer of 2025. And if that release clause does get activated for 172 to 175 million euros. And let me tell you, Barcelona, yes, it's true that they're going to have to start gearing up for that type of price tag like today, like now. Like if they're planning on signing him in 2025, they need to start working on that operation right now. Now again, I want to go back to what I did say previously. We don't know if Barcelona are gearing up towards signing Haaland in 2025. All of this is fake in my opinion, but if this is true or ends up being true in the future and Barcelona see it as an opportunity, and we hear more sources from Spain claiming the same thing, then yes, it would be a great opportunity to sign Haaland, and for various reasons. Point number one, Barcelona do have the option to terminate Lewandowski's contract in 2025, right? So there is a special clause. If Lewandowski in the 2024-2025 season does play less than 50% of the matches that he is available for, Barcelona do have the opportunity to terminate his contract. That is one of the special clauses within the contract that he did sign. And so maybe Barcelona could be saying, okay, let's terminate Lewandowski's contract. We no longer owe him any money. We have another striker that we need to bring in and play alongside Vitor Roque, and that could be Erling Haaland, right? What Barcelona could build here is have Vitor Roque and Erling Haaland as striker options, very similar to how we see Man City handle Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland. And again, all of this is for the summer 2025 plans. Point number two, Barcelona do have outstanding payments that need to be made to Messi until 2025, and so yes, Barcelona is still owing Messi the wages that he does deserve from his contract. Barcelona still have to pay him until 2025, and so by the time Barcelona head towards the summer of 2025 and they no longer have to pay Messi his deferred wages, Barcelona will now be able to build a bigger gap on the wage bill and maybe potentially afford Erling Haaland. And then point number three, most importantly, I do believe that in the summer of 2025 is going to be a very important time in Barcelona's history, because the new Camp Nou is going to be opening and Xavi Hernandez is going to be seeing the end of his current contract because he just signed a contract extension until when? The summer of 2025. And so if Joan Laporta wants to make a statement and say, okay, this is going to be the brand new Barcelona, this is what I want to do, and I want to bring in Erling Haaland, also renew Xavi Hernandez, and also reintroduce Spotify Camp Nou, Joan Laporta can do that. Joan Laporta has the opportunity to do that, to do something big, right? To show to the world that this is the new face of Barcelona. Can you imagine the new Spotify Camp Nou opening up with a new signing of Erling Haaland and with the contract extension of Xavi Hernandez after winning so many titles? Now, it is projected that the Spotify Camp Nou is going to be finishing by the end of the 2025-2026 season, which means in the summer of 2026, but there is a possibility, and I've heard some sources claiming that everything is on track, everything is working well, and that they could finish within that time frame, maybe even during the first 4 months of that season and before 2026 in January. So there's multiple reasons on why Barcelona would be gearing up towards signing Erling Haaland. Everything needs to be correctly timed, and I can just see Joan Laporta being that showtime, right, the diva of the show, and make these big moves happen. But as of now, right, coming back from the sky, let's all get grounded just for a bit. Let's just assume that all of this is fake. Again, this is only coming from one source. We don't know if this is a possibility in Joan Laporta's perspective, but we'll see. Only time will tell. So now lastly, I just want to give some quick updates on the Barcelona players that played today, which will be regarding Spain versus Cyprus, where Spain won 6-0, and Germany versus France. Germany did win France 2-1. So Gavi started and played 76 minutes. He scored 1 goal, right? It was a phenomenal goal, very similar to how Lamine Yamal got his goal, because Nico Williams made an incredible cross into the box, and so Gavi got the goal. As for Lamine Yamal, he did play. He played a total of 61 minutes. He put on a show for all the fans there. He almost scored, very similar to how he scored against France, I believe. I could be wrong, but it was like in the under 16s, under 17s. Lamine Yamal is really having that type of shot accuracy that looks very similar to David Villa, I would say. Maybe even Lionel Messi, because of the way that he curls those shots into the top left corner or the top right corner. All of his shots are becoming very similar. You can see that that is like his signature move, but he put out an amazing performance, and I'm so happy to see that Lamine Yamal is enjoying his own football. In the first half, 25 out of 29 passes were completed. He created 3 chances. 4 dribbles were also completed, which was the most. He hit the woodwork once, which was that curl shot that led towards a goal, actually, and then he had 4 out of 6 ground duels won. So an amazing performance from Lamine Yamal. Ferran Torres came on the 61st minute and completed the match and scored 2 goals. He only needed about 30 minutes or less to score 2 goals. Ferran Torres, before the start of the season, did say that I am a tank, I am a shark, I'm a beast, and I'm here to conquer the world. He said something like that, but I'm kind of like fabricating it just a little bit. But Ferran Torres is doing what he did say. He is making a real comeback, and he is here to really make a statement. The amount of goals that he has been scoring, we need that at Barcelona. He brings the fluidity, the dynamic spark that we needed in the front three, and you can see that with Spain. As for Alejandro Balde, he came in on the 61st minute and completed the match. Ferran Torres came out from the match and said this: I think I'm taking a big leap and becoming more mature. I didn't feel bad about not being called up at first, but it's an honor to represent my country. And so with these 2 goals being scored, Ferran Torres in the last 8 matches scored a total of 7 goals. As for Gavi, because Gavi did score in this match, he did state, and I quote, "Do I feel comfortable playing in the midfield? Yes, but I am at the service of the coach and the national team wherever they need me." So moving on towards Germany versus France, Ter Stegen did start this match. He played the entire match. He had a total of 5 saves. As for Gundogan, there was like this injury scare that Gundogan had to go through. We all thought that Gundogan was going to be out for about 3 to 4 weeks, but it has been said that Gundogan only has a bruise on his back, but nothing is fractured, nothing is like too serious. But this is a warning sign. This is a warning sign for Xavi Hernandez and for us, for Barcelona in general, to not overuse Gundogan, because if he is encountering these type of like bruises and he had to like sit out from a match, it's telling us that his body is being worn out, that he's playing too many matches, right? He's 31, 32 years old. He needs rest. I don't expect Gundogan to play against Real Betis in this upcoming Saturday. And what I expect coming from Xavi Hernandez's lineup against Real Betis is a front three of Ferran, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal, right? With our midfield being Frankie, Gavi, and Joao Felix. Our backline being Cancelo, Koundé, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde. I want to see a starting 11 like this. There is no Pedri, there is no Gundogan, but there is definitely a lot of creativity and goals in the midfield. There is also a lot of technicality overall, very attack focused, and I want to see Frankie as a pivot. Nobody can tell me and say that Frankie cannot play as a lone pivot. He can. He has showed that many times already through the season. He can play by himself. And I think that Xavi Hernandez only needs to continue to give him more confidence and say, I trust you as a pivot. I trust you in where Sergio Busquets used to play at Barcelona. And because of that, I'm going to have you be paired up with Gavi and Joao Felix, who are going to be your options in front of you. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.